My name is Walter Landström. I want to share some of my favorite recipes. I'm born and raised in Sweden, so I've been inspired for some of them from that. This particular recipe today I learned from friends when I crossed the Atlantic Ocean and we were eating lobster. So here's the thing. Most of us, if we eat shellfish, we don't know that we actually waste maybe the most delicious part of the shellfish. So what we do after we finish eating the crab or the lobster or whatever it is, of course we throw away the shells. Well, today I want to show you how you can make the best soup you ever made in your life with that stuff that normally goes to trash. Enjoy. So I was talking about this soup you make from something that's worthless. So earlier today, this was, a bunch of crab legs. They're kind of normal. I think they're called stone crabs or sand crabs. I don't know what. The ones you buy at your normal grocery store. And I ate them for lunch. And normally after you've eaten this and made a mess, this goes straight into the trash. But like I said, I learned many years ago that that's a huge mistake. You make the most delicious soup ever from that. So actually all you need is you have a pan. I'm going to get some oil because first I need to saute these crab shells in at really high temperature, okay? And then I'm going to add water and onion, and 25 minutes later we have a bouillon that if you bought it online, you at least $50 to $75 for any package you get. So let me get ready to go out and turn this on the heat. The heat will take these crab shells and lift the flavor out. Then we add the water. Now it kind of sucks all the flavors out of the crab shells. And we add the onion, and after that we have the base for this most incredible soup. Once again, this is something everybody throws away. And I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine, her family has always been throwing away all their shells. And when I tell her about this, she was disgusted and, oh my God, that would only poor people would do that. By the way, she's from a pretty poor country. Anyway, so she would refuse. Well, she came to our house and I showed her how to make it, and we made the soup, and she was just blown away. So now she's always making seafood soup whenever she eats crabs or lobster. You can even do it with the big tiger shrimp, but the shrimp shells probably have the least flavor. I do maximum temperature, as hot as possible. I try to saute these, or fry. Frying is quite a better. It's not sauteing, more like a frying of these shells for maybe about 5 minutes. And after that, I will add onion and water. So, to add a little bit umami to this bouillon, you always add an onion. And the cool thing, you don't have to do anything fancy with the onion. You can just quarter it. And it's questionable even if you need to take the peel off, but I think they look ugly if you leave the peel on them. But my gut feeling is it would be just as fine with the peel on. And I'm going to add that. And I need to add some water. So theoretically this should work. Shells are definitely ready. I throw in the onion and I add water. And I just want to add enough water to cover the shells and the onion. If I add too much water, this bouillon will simply be too weak. And we don't want that. And then we're going to let this boil for about 25 minutes. It doesn't matter if it's 20 minutes or 40 minutes. I would say at least 20 minutes, but 25 minutes, 30 minutes, doesn't matter. It's going to be magic. I think the fish bouillon is ready, or the crab bouillon is ready. Let me see. It's been here, I think it's 30 minutes now. Look at this. This is just pure liquid gold. So now I'm just going to strain the bouillon in a different pan. And I'm not doing it fancy here. I could definitely do it more fancy, but I'm just simply using the lid. Here's it there. And this is so simple, costs nothing, and so much flavor. So what I'll do now, I'm going to start heating up this bouillon again. Let me see which burner is that. Probably a small burner here. So what to put in? Well, first we'll throw in some cognac or brandy, and I just buy this from Kroger's, a cheap brandy that is really I just use it for cooking. I put 2 capsules of that in. Very important that you put the brandy in first. I made a mistake before and put it last, and then the thing just tastes like alcohol. So it doesn't make you very happy. I like to have a little bit thickening, but that's a matter of choice. So I put a little bit flour in. I have one of those special ones that, you know, doesn't lump so much. I'm just putting a little bit in here. I really don't know how much. Maybe it's a tablespoon. Maybe it's 1.5. Hard to say. I'm going to throw in one of those beautiful Thai hot peppers. They give flavor and heat. And then, yeah, we better have some salt. Otherwise, this will have no flavor whatsoever. So here's the salt. I think this is probably the right amount of salt. We'll see. And it would have been smarter to not put in the flour yet, because I need to boil this to get rid of the alcohol. Well, this boil is coming up pretty quickly. Definitely going to add a little bit cayenne. That little pepper wasn't enough to put the spiciness going. So the soup is coming in the right direction here. Now, before I add the shrimp, I'm adding the magic, which is cream. Heavy cream. And remember that the French have far less heart attacks than we have, even though they eat fantastic amounts of heavy cream. So maybe heavy cream is not so bad for you after all. Very mild. A little bit more salt, actually. And a little bit more cayenne. I have to wait for it to start boiling. Here comes the boil. And I add the shrimp. Key with shrimp is to not overcook it. So this will be a lot of shrimp, but well, good. Normally you would have had less than half of that shrimp. And here's the key to now: don't heat it too long. So I put so much shrimp in, so it took a lot of the heat out. So normally, if it was just a few shrimp, I would actually take it off the burner right away. I wouldn't even have let it boil again. Now, because there were so many shrimps that they cooled down the liquid so dramatically, I'm actually going to give this a chance to start boiling before I take it off. And you can see how the shrimp is changing color really quickly as they're the protein, you know, transforms. And by the way, when you make a soup like this, I just don't eat carbs. If you are like normal people that eat carbs, I would throw in some boiled rice or maybe some potatoes or something like that before you put the shrimp in, and they would make the soup more of a meal than an appetizer. You can of course also throw in some veggies, just like, you know, you can do pretty much anything you want with this base. And the combination of the crab bouillon and the brandy is really what kind of makes this surprisingly interesting. And this is going to be a very, very mild soup, and it's going to impress the hell out of people. So let's enjoy.